today just to tell you guys how I got into working out. So if you have been following me on Instagram, you would notice that I started working out maybe about two or 3 years ago. Actually in late 2018 that I started working out. I used to always go to the gym. I always had a gym membership. It was not consistent. I would go for like a month and then I would stop. Luckily, I am one of those people whose body does not really tell you my weight. So the heaviest I was almost 220. So I think I was around 215 pounds. Just for reference, I am 5'5.5". Most of my weight does sit in my midsection and my thighs, but I also do have a firm build. So even if I was 220 pounds, I didn't look like I was 220 pounds. I would ask people what they thought or how much I weighed, and they would probably be like, oh, you look like you're like 170, 180. No, I was 220 pounds. So in 2018, I graduated with my master's in Buffalo, New York, and I decided to move to Maryland. And that was like a huge transition for me. I moved from Buffalo, New York. I had been living on my own for years. So I think I started living on my own in 2012, after college, after undergrad. And actually that was before I graduated undergrad, because I graduated in 2013. And I lived on my own from 2012 to 2018. And then in 2018, I decided to move to Maryland, and I decided to move in with my aunt and her family. And I took a temp job, guys, a 6-month temp job with the Maryland Department of Health. And I packed up all my stuff that I had. I gave away some stuff, I sold some stuff, and then I moved down here. So I was living there and going to work down in Baltimore, which was about an hour drive each way every day. So I think that was like what drove me to work out, because I did not feel comfortable in the space that I was in. I mean, it's my aunt, it's my family, I love them, but I was so used to living alone that just being in their space made me uncomfortable. So instead of going home after work, I used to go to the gym all the time, like almost every day. And I literally went from being able to run. I was always able to run, but I literally went from like being able to run like 2 miles, and then I doubled it to like 4 miles, and I was like doing like 5 miles. And I used to spend all my time in the gym, guys. And another thing that happened around that time is I got like severely depressed. I was in a really bad place. I don't think that people knew that I was unhappy, because I just had a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, so that's how I got into working out. A lot of like financial stress was on me, because after the 6 months, my contract was supposed to be extended for like a 1-year contract. And then that didn't happen because some lady from upstairs decided that she was just gonna leave the paper on her table sitting there for about 2 months. So I was unemployed. And that just gave me like another reason to be in the gym, right? So you're unemployed, you don't have anything else to do, you have no income, you have a car note, you have credit card bills. Like the bills don't stop just because you're not working. So I used the gym as an outlet for everything that was going on in my life. So being depressed, being angry, everything was just like dropped off at the gym. I used to go running so much. And I got so skinny. And people used to be like, oh my God, you look so good. Oh my God, you dropped so much weight. How did you do it? And I mean, I was going to the gym, I was working out, but I can also say that some of it was probably because I was depressed. and probably because I was sad. So the gym was like a good outlet for that. The gym will always be a good outlet. If you're sad, if you're depressed, if you're happy, you can take it out in the gym. Like, there's no one that's going to come in there and, ask you questions or be like, hey, why are you doing this? No, everybody is like releasing something. Like, it releases stress, and that's what I used it for. So I did that for a couple months, and then it became addicting. It became addicting to the point that I was running all the time. It was like I was obsessed with my body, and it got to like a bad place. And I did drop weight. So I did when I moved here in 2018, I think I was like 190 something. I had already started dropping weight. And then I went down all the way to like 175. I think the lowest I ever got to was 172 that I can remember. And I can tell you that I was like bones, and like I was like a little stick walking around. And it's funny because whenever I go to the doctor, they say that for my height and weight that I need to be like 150. You can see the picture of me being 175 and how small I was. I do not want to be 150. I never want to be 150. So yeah, so I have been working out since then. And then eventually I got into strength training, just building my muscles, just trying to get into like not draining my body. So cardio does drain. It drains you. So you have to be careful when you're doing cardio that you're hydrated, you're getting enough sleep, you have enough energy. That was another thing too that I did not do. I was not getting enough sleep. So I worked in Baltimore. I used to come home around like 7, and then I would eat and then digest and probably be in bed by like 9:30. And I already have like a bad like sleep routine. So I wake up in the middle of the night every day. There's not a day that goes by that I do not wake up in the middle of the night. But I would go to sleep at like 9:30 and then wake up at 4 so I can be ready to be out the house by exactly 10 after 5 in the morning, because I wanted to be at work at 6 so I can get off early so I can beat the rush hour. Because if you live in the DMV, you know how bad the traffic is in this area. It is ridiculous. There was a time when I first moved here that I didn't know how bad it was. I was stuck in traffic for 2.5 hours. I literally almost cried. The traffic was so bad. It was hot. And mind you, my car at that time had issues. So that was oh my God, there was so much going on in my life. My car, as soon as I moved here, it was like, oh yeah, you need to change your brakes, your rotors, your bearings. And I was driving a Volkswagen. So those German parts are not cheap. That thing was stressing me out. And then eventually I totaled the car, and I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you, please. Because I was not repairing anything. I was drowning in paying for repairs on that car. So, yeah, so that happened as well. I forgot about that. And then I got a new car. But yeah, so my sleep routine was not very well situated. I was eating, I was living at my aunt's house, so I was just eating whatever she made, which is rice and stew. But it also did make it like a routine, because I had the same food every day, because she would cook food for like the week, and it would just be like different types of food, and I just ate whatever she made. So I didn't have to worry about like buying food and stuff like that, even though I did. Sometimes I don't want to eat African food. But so yeah, so eventually I got into strength training. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. I got into strength training, and I just enjoyed getting stronger. But getting stronger means you're building muscles, which also means you're getting bigger. So I kind of struggle with that. To this day, I still struggle with that. I'm not even going to lie. Like I look good in whatever I'm wearing. Um, but when I do weigh myself, I do think like, oh my God, I used to weigh like 175, but now I'm at 187, but I still look great. So I think like there's a lot that goes into being in the gym and working out and being confident. I can't tell you that I am fully 100% confident in my body, but I can tell you that I'm in a much better place than like at the beginning of COVID when we had no access to the gym and I was like freaking out that I couldn't go work out. Um, and then also another thing is just finding time that works for you. So build it into your day. Um, what I noticed was that I was going at different times of the day. And sometimes I would go at like 5 and I would just do like 20 minutes on the treadmill and leave. Because if you go at 5 o'clock in the evening, you know that everyone comes there after work. And I'm one of those people that cannot be around so many people at the same time. So I kind of switched my time that I go to the gym. So now I go at 5 o'clock in the morning. And it is way better for me personally. I don't know for everyone else. For me personally, it's way better because a lot of people are coming in, working out for maybe like an hour and leaving to go to work. Whereas I work maybe for like work out for like 2 hours, which still gives me time to leave and be back at my desk at like 8:30 the latest, 9 o'clock, which is typical 9 to 5. So working from home has definitely helped with that. Because when I worked from the office, I had to go in the evening. It had to be in the evening. So that meant that I had to go on weekends when I wanted to go in the morning. But now I only go during the week, so that I have a social life on weekends. Like my whole life doesn't center around the gym. You guys might think it does, but it doesn't. Um, so yeah, so that's how I got into working out. Now it's just like every day for me. I don't even think about it. I mean, some days I do have like down days, but it's just built into my life now. So I think start small. Don't do what I did. Start small, and then you'll probably just end up like me where it's part of your day. It's like drinking water or like, eating something. But if you have any like questions or if you want to tell me how you got into working out, let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm just sharing my portion of my story. Everybody got into it for different reasons. People get into it for losing weight, which is awesome. I used to always start working out just to lose weight and it never happened, and then eventually it did. Like you can't like be in your head too much, and I try to tell myself that. Um, so hopefully it just helps.